Britt and I were just talking about this earlier before we got on, how we both talk a lot. And we're like, we probably need to dial it in a little bit, but we did want to go over, just because as the teams are forever growing, there are new faces on here, and we want to explain what batch posting is. And if you have been here for a hot second, you probably know the gist, you know the throwdown, you know how it works, but we want to explain also the importance of it, to where you might sit here and say, like, yeah, maybe I've been in the business for a while and maybe I know how to post and I just need to get some ideas off the top of my head. But we also want to explain how important it is too for this to be shared, especially with your new promoters as well. The person just starting the business and they're like, I have no idea what to post about, or even if it's someone that's coming from another company. Myself, I came from another company. I had no idea how to post. And that sounds crazy after having 3.5 years in this industry, but I literally did not know how to post because I wasn't taught how to do so, and I never did it with my previous company. It was all like within closed groups, whatever. So in this space, in this time, we have an hour of time set aside for this entire batch posting, which is where we take time to generate ideas. I know throughout this whole thing, even with Britt and I hosting it, whether it's someone like anyone that comments in the chat or if Britt lists off an idea, I am writing down notes still myself, because you can never stop learning. You can never stop getting new ideas. You can never stop growing, no matter what point you're at within your business. So through this hour, what we are going to do is, give ideas for you to create your content around, give you a structure that you can follow. That way it makes it easy, so you know day by day what your topic is and you're not going into it blindsided. During this time, I know sometimes we talk a lot and we generate a lot of ideas and we give you guys a lot of value, and we want to take this hour to fill your brains with as much as we can, since we do this once a week. But with that being said, I know we go through a lot of stuff, and sometimes maybe you can't get your whole post finished. The ice cream truck. Anyways, maybe we don't have enough time to actually finish our direct post. Maybe you're not sitting here on your phone or in your notebook actually writing it out word for word, but I wanted to share an idea as to what I do when going through batch posting, even when prepping for this meeting, is I literally grab this little handy dandy notebook with my pen or paper, whatever it is. I write down Monday through Sunday. I write down my topic of the day, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're talking about this. This is generating this story up in my brain. Okay, we're talking about Monday. We're talking about why. Oh, someone said this. It sparked a memory up in my brain, and I'm taking like little bullet notes. So I know for myself, we have an hour time. If I typically don't write out my full post during this period, but I wanted to share that with you, as far as that way you're not leaving this meeting. We never want someone leaving and being like, that was a great hour, and like nothing was accomplished, or nothing was written down, or no ideas were written down, or you left with nothing other than like, that was a good meeting. You know what I mean? So just wanted to throw that out there. That is what this hour is for. That is what the space is for. That's why we created this batch posting, to help you create your content, what to create content around, how to utilize it to you and your target audience, and then also to generate ideas, because we know a big topic that sometimes is a holdup is what to post about, and how can we always get better at it? How can we get better at our content so we can speak to more people? So wanted to share the idea. If you do not get your full post down, grab the idea, write down the day of the week that you're posting about. Write down the idea next to it, right? Your topic, if it's your why, payday, wellness, trials, transformation, lifestyle, opportunity, business, write that next to it. And I know for myself, I literally have a few pages, because I grab this notebook every time we do batch posting, and I jot down bullet points, and they're all different ideas, all different little memories that pop up. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to talk about this scenario. This happened. This is the result. This is where the change happened. I'm going to formulate that whole post when I'm ready to post it. That's just how my brain works. I write down in bullet form, and then I actually create on my phone.
Yes. And Katie, just to add to what Katie is saying, guys, come with the intent of, hey, I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn. Like Katie said, we are still learning off of each other. This is an open space. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any concerns, like if you guys say, hey, Britt, hey, Katie, like we want to learn more about X, Y, and Z, y'all, the next following week, guess what? We're going to talk about X, Y, and Z, right? So this is like a growing stage for all of us. So I love that. No question is a dumb question. No post is a dumb post. I can tell you right now, I go back and look at like my lives and my posts, and I'm like, did I really post like that? It's a growing stage, guys. Trust me, there is no perfect post ever. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're gonna rock and roll straight into Monday. We are gonna give you guys a couple of minutes to write out each post for each day. And so Mondays, I am going to start it out, Katie, only because this Monday felt so freaking amazing. I was on my balcony working, and I love how Sabrina always talks about this. She says, take people on your work day. Where do you work? You know, are you working from your couch? Are you working from your bed? Are you working from your balcony? Or, you know, are you at a pool? Whatever you're working from, guys, talk about that. Okay. My Mondays used to suck, and I said that on my stories. Mondays do not have to suck. My post for today, this Monday, was very small. Like, it wasn't all wordy, but what does Mondays mean for you? If it currently sucks right now, guys, don't say, oh, my Mondays suck. You can say something like, hey, you know what? This Monday I'm having to go into work and I don't feel like it, but my goal is to make sure that I can retire myself in the next 12 months or the next 6 months or whatever, right? Because guess what? Somebody out there can relate to you. If I would have seen a post that somebody said like, hey, I retired myself, trust me, I'm jumping on board because I used to hate Mondays, right? So what does Mondays mean to you? Is that your time where you get to work from whatever? Is that your time where, you know, like I said, maybe it sucks right now, but how can you make a post to gear to your audience on how you can bring them into what opportunity you have right now in your hands, as far as financial freedom or freedom of time? So let's make a post about that. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the chat. I'm my best to shut up so you guys can make your post. It is 6:37 right now. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, and hop back in here. I missed your face too, Jen. I had the craziest situation last Monday. It was a hot mess, but I'm back and I missed you. But guys, go ahead and make your post. If you have any questions, drop it here in the chat and I will be sure to answer.
I'll keep it on schedule. That was 5 minutes. I kept looking at the clock. So let's go ahead and move on to Tuesday. Again, if you did not finish that topic, take notes, write down what your last thoughts were, come back to it so you can add to it. So let's move on to Tuesday. Tuesdays, we get paid every single Tuesday, right? Whether this is your first paycheck, whether it's your second paycheck, whether, I don't know, you started today and you're not getting a paycheck. I don't really know when you're watching this, right? Or you are along in your journey at some point, right, in your journey. You can always write about payday, even if your check was zero. I will tell you, my first paycheck was zero, right? And I got the happiest over my $44 paycheck, which was my second Tuesday into the company, right? So this does not have to be a post where it's like, oh, I'm not making this kind of money, so like, oh, I can't post about it because it's not flashy enough for people, or I don't know. Like, if you ever had the idea run through your head that you're not making X amount of money, therefore you can't post about it because it's unbelievable. I don't know if like it clears through to the bank. Like, I think it's believable to me. You know what I mean? Even if it is $25 or even if it is whatever the amount is, right? So why did you start for and if it's an additional income for you, maybe this is your only income for you, right? Maybe this is your full time, maybe fill in the blank. Why did you start and why is this financial piece of this business making a difference for you? What are you working towards, right? I'm going to bring it back, for example, as to why I initially started this. I started this for gas, groceries, and maybe some dog food if we got lucky. You know what I mean? And that's when people come to me, they're like, so what is it about the business? Like, so where are you now? Because I know your story as you started for gas and grocery money, but yet you don't work anything else. And I'm like, yeah, right? Because I'm always bringing up that story. Why? Because that's relatable. Going on, you might see people further along in their journey, right? That's not relatable to me. I didn't relate to the paying off a credit card in full. I'm like, dude, I can't even make the minimum. Like, how are you paying it off in full, right? So I want you to bring your story to a relatable point, not saying that it isn't, but what you might think is small might be the make or break point for someone else. What you think is small might be the person being able to go into the grocery store and like actually check out with everything that's in your cart. What you think is small might be a matter of, am I going to make it to work today or not, right? Do I have enough gas in my car, right? I know that was the boat I was in. So I want you to think of, why did you start this financially? Bring it back to when you started, bring it back to your initial goals, or you can talk about what you are working towards. If you've already hit, another idea I want to give too is that if you've already hit your financial goals that you had set for yourself when you first started, what are you working towards now, right? Because you're here for some reason. If I was only working towards gas and grocery money, I would have quit back in November of 2019, in December of 2019. I would have been like, made my money, peace out, Girl Scout, right? Why are you here today? What are you working towards today? What new opportunities have been unlocked for you that you are working towards? All right. So if you have any questions, as always, drop it in the chat. We've got 5 minutes. So at 7:50, we will switch it over to Wednesday.
Okay, y'all don't kill me. I just had to say something. I'm sorry. If you are a auto bonus earner, this Tuesday is the perfect Tuesday to talk about this, okay? Like, we receive our compensation for our auto bonus pay. So guys, talk about it, okay? If you are not an auto bonus earner, talk about you hitting this bonus, right? Like, in the next 3 months, I plan on having this bad boy paid for by my company. Doesn't have to be long and drawn out, right? Just go and say, hey, you know what? The second Tuesday of each month, we're compensated for our car notes, or our car payments, whatever you want, however you want to juice it up, jazz it up. Okay. Talk about it, because this is something that a lot of companies do not offer, guys. Okay. Second highest household bill in America is huge. I think that was 5 minutes, guys. We're on the train. We're doing this. We're doing it. Okay. 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 So Wednesday, let's hop on over to Wednesdays, guys. This Wednesday, I want to talk about, I know we always do Wellness Wednesday. I want to talk about Winning Wednesday. Okay. What does it feel like to win? Right? I can tell you this last season, like when my dad passed away and like 2020 hit, like it was a hot mess express, right? So I took a bunch of L's, and I told myself, like my whole team, like, I'm done taking L's. I am going to have a winning season, okay? And so with that, I want to talk about you claiming your wins. Okay, like I want you to post a bomb selfie of you just claiming your worth, your wins. Like, what does that look like for you? If that's paying off debt, if that's retiring yourself from corporate America, if that's, you buying a new car, a new home, what does that look like for you? Nobody else knows this but you. But I want you to like embrace the wins this season and kind of claim it, because here's the thing, your audience is going to feed off of you, right? So just imagine you like the best version of you, and you're going out there and you're telling people, like, you know what? I am going to claim all of this. How do you think your audience is going to respond? They're not going to be like, oh yeah, Brittany's crazy. They may say that, but they're going to be in my comments like, yes, sis. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be hyping you up. And in return, guys, people can see you and you can inspire them. You have no idea how many people you inspire with you just being your absolute authentic self. And so this Wednesday, I want you guys to post the best, whatever your best version is. Like, My best version may not be that cute to everybody else, but to me, it's my best version of me, right? So whatever that is for you, I want you to take a picture, post that, and jot down maybe 5 or 6 wins that you are going to claim in 2021. So that was quick. 2 minutes, I'm done. All right, drop any questions in the chat if y'all need me. So Sarah Rose, I can't pronounce your name. Sarah, what you sister. So what does that look like for you to win? So not just this week, like overall in 2021, like what are you claiming in 2021? Maybe 2020 was great for you. I can tell you right now, it sucked. You know what for me. Okay. So like I'm claiming all the things in 2021. So what are you going to claim in 2021 that's going to have you to win, right? So winning Wednesday.
Okay, it's 7:58. Let's go on to the next topic, which is Thursday. So I love the winning Wednesday, by the way. I think that was genius. I wrote down so many different ideas. I shared 2 different spins on it to where you can literally rotate this weekly and make your Wednesdays winning Wednesdays. And especially since it's hump day and people are like halfway through the week and it's like, come on, let's pump ourselves back up again. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. So Thursday, I wrote down transformation or some sort of throwback, right? So in this sense, I'm not just posting a before picture and an after picture of me with the 3 steps in the photo, right? So it's taking people down memory lane. So I wanted to spin off a few different ideas, some short posts and some longer posts, right? So when I'm thinking of a throwback, I'm going back to pictures in my camera roll. I am scrolling through my old Facebook photos, right? I am grabbing old pictures of myself compared to to myself right now compared to myself today. So this can be your throwback, right? And when I consider it a throwback, I'm like, who was I then? Who was I as a person? Right? Because I know myself, like, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but like, I've changed a lot. Like, I've developed a lot over the years. Okay. Thank God you don't know old Katie. It's just all I'm going to say. So, developed a lot over the years, right? So, I want to show people who was that girl, right? So, in a way that I would guess say hook this is almost like writing a diary, like dear old self, like to the old Katie, right? To my old self, right? That way anyone reading it is like, oh, okay. Like if they're reading it, they can relate to it. And I'm going to explain who that girl was on the left-hand side, who is that girl today on the right-hand side, and be like, you just didn't know it was coming, right? Now, if I'm thinking of it like a transformation Thursday and I'm doing before and after photo, I'm also going to bring people for a longer post down a little trip of memory lane as to what my routine used to look like before and what does it look like now. Then some shorter posts that you can do along with this. I love like writing to my old self. It's right. You like used to journal a lot before too, which is like, oh my God, why don't I just like pull those out and like, boom, it's a post, right? Another like short post too that I always love to do or I always love to see. Brett might have made a post like this, but it's like a before and after picture. And it's like, it's the premium grade nutrition for me, right? And clearly people see that. You have your DFT that's, your wearable, your DFT is just promotion of itself. That is people seeing what what you're wearing, because I use it like, I'm like, it's an accessory at this point, too, right? So it's part of that. They see that, and then people are wondering what it's about. Another little hook line I like to use is like sharing my #1 secret with you. Boom. And then I'm entering it. I'm probably typing up something along the lines of upgrade your morning routine with 3 simple steps, right? It's a no-brainer. Then I'm catching people's attention, right? If they want, and then if I want to throw in a call to action, I'm throwing in a call to action. Like if you've never gotten your hands on this before, like clap for me below because you like something like that. I don't know, make up a call to action at the end of it. So let's go ahead and work on either a throwback or a transformation. You can write down 2 different ideas, use one of them this Thursday, and then use the other one for next Thursday. I don't know. So let's go ahead and take 5 minutes.
Okay, sorry, y'all don't kill me. So real quick, y'all can seriously like I did one the other day and I put 31 versus 34. Like my 31-year-old self versus now. You can see the difference, guys, hands down. So if you want to talk about like your previous self, like note to yourself, like I did that. I was like, don't walk past the mirror and hate yourself, Britt. Like the 31-year-old version of me was like just like Katie, right? So it was like a letter to my old self, but it also showed like me at 31 versus me at 34. So that's it. Bye.
Just to answer the question in the chat, I would most definitely grab older pictures. It doesn't need to be the exact moment. Like, I don't have before pictures when I started the 3 steps. I just don't. I didn't think to take them. So you can definitely I use older pictures from like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, right? That's still a transformation in your life. It doesn't need to be an exact, like, this was the day I started my 3 steps. You know what I mean? So hopefully that helps.
Sorry, I wasn't keeping up. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Are y'all
I
ready
think
for?
I think it's just been about 5 minutes. I think I shut up at like 8:01. I don't know.
Okay.
Go for
Okay, so Friday. So this past Friday, y'all, I posted something and it got a lot of interaction. I made people laugh. And I posted something that was super, super silly. But I'm gonna read it to y'all just so y'all can see like the gist of like what I'm trying to explain to y'all. It was like, I think like Fridays, people are happy, right? So like, let's make them laugh. Let's bring some type of joy to them. Like, it's great to post like Freedom Friday, like, woohoo, look at me. But think about it, like 90% of Americans are aware at work, right? They're like, oh, look at her having her Freedom Friday, rolling around in her paid for car, right? Like, make somebody laugh this Friday is like my goal. So I made a post and it said, not everyone is going to think that I'm funny and have a dope soul, and that's okay. But they're wrong. They're wrong though. I put Happy Friday. Happy Friday, right? So I wanted to make people laugh this Friday. I wanted people to see like some type of joy, some type of whatever. Guys, if you are, even if you're not funny, like I think sometimes like I'm like the funniest person ever, but not everybody thinks that I'm funny, right? But if you know me, I'm super goofy. I'm super goofy and I want to make people laugh all the time, right? So I want to challenge myself on Fridays to make some type of interactive posts where I'm having people engage with me and to laugh, to bring some type of joy, to bring some type of like, woohoo, it's Friday, right? People will buy from people when they're happy. Okay, like think about that, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is gonna make somebody's day if you have them to go on your page and make them laugh. So, whatever interactive poster you can think of, like I know Sarah has done one where like she threw away her dishes one time, right? People were laughing at that and talking about that. I want to save those funny interactive posts for Fridays. I wish I had some ideas to throw out there for you guys, but like how I did that one there, you guys can make up a funny interactive post and post that on Friday. So maybe we can call it like Funny Fridays. bam, funny Fridays. What can be a post that you can make that's funny, whether it's like your kids in like a diaper that's running around like crazy, or if you want to twerk a little bit, whatever it is, guys, let's do something geared towards funny Friday. Okay. So take a couple of minutes and I will think of some ideas and drop them in the chats. If you guys have any ideas, drop them, help your girl out. And we're going to move. Go, Katie.
I think she hopped. I was going to ask her if I could share it, but oh, she lost her internet connection. Um, it's Jen. But she did this thing where she was doing, I forget if it was Fridays or Saturdays, but she was sharing games that like her and her husband were playing together. Like it was a couples game. They would go live and they would do like part of the game together and they would have people in the chat like interact with it as well. They would be sharing, like it was this really, I forget the name of it, but it was something where it was funny, it was interactive as a couple, and it also shared, you know, their relationship with one another and sharing that piece of their life, to where no, it wasn't business related, no, it wasn't product related, but at the same point too, it's building that like, know, and trust factor. It's getting people interacting with you, and it just shows them as well like what they were doing on a Friday night. And they actually did like a little series of it, like going on, because there was multiple pieces of the game. So if that's something that you do with your family or your spouse, if you play, I don't know, if you have something that you do on the weekends together, like if that's something that you do every Friday or every Saturday or whatever the case may be, like share that with your community. Don't think that it just because it's not business or product related, being like, oh well, can't post that. You know what I mean? Because people relate to that. And they sometimes they want ideas too.
Thank you, sister. I love that. Y'all know I love playing jokes on people. Yeah, Alexis. Y'all, I'm sorry, I gotta tell this story. Alexis, you have to cut your camera on though, because let me tell y'all, we were out in Broken Bow at this leadership retreat. And this girl here was like, who wants to play ping pong? I got some balls. And I'm like, nobody wants to play with your balls, right? So she had these little balls, like little ping pong balls. Well, she stole the balls, y'all. And she was like, she was gonna mail me the balls or something. I don't know what happened. We were out in Mexico. She's like, I've been trying to stick this ball in your purse for like forever. And I'm like, why do you even have this, Alexis? Y'all, let me tell you, the crazy part is that that ball also went with me to like Chicago. Like this ball is now a part of my family, okay? Like it's the craziest thing. But yes, like that's her personality. Like she gets to share that all the time. And like people are attracted to that, guys. Like people love and buy from people who are happy and genuine. Like make somebody laugh. I don't care how corny you may think it is, make somebody laugh, okay? Especially on Friday, because guess what? Everybody's like, woohoo, it's the weekend. Give them something to laugh about, guys. All right, I'm done. That was the funniest story ever, though, Alexis.
I know I wanted to leave like the last 10 to 15 minutes open for like a Q&A session. If you guys have specific questions on your mind, things that you want to ask about, talk about, bounce ideas off of, we want to leave that time open for it. So I wanted to go over Saturdays and Sundays when it comes to posting. So I know for myself on Saturdays, I like to talk about opportunity, and Fridays I like to freestyle for myself. I do a little, I don't know, whatever is coming to mind that day. Saturdays talk about opportunity, and for myself, I talk about freedom on Sundays and what that looks like today compared to what it used to look like, what our weekends look like today compared to what they used to look like, right? So a few different ideas that you can jot down if you want to use these for yourself, and they can relate to you however they do. So when you think about opportunity, I want you to think about, what does this business offer, right? What is the business offer for you? What does it offer for the next person in line that is, reading your post, that is looking to join the business, right? So a few different ideas that come to mind are, I know I like to talk, we were talking about the auto bonus and payday, right? On payday, but that's also a goal that you're working towards. That's an opportunity, right? And especially with you being in the business, and let's say you've hit 4K or you're working towards 4K. I like to throw in that because it's a piece of the opportunity, is the auto bonus. Another piece of the opportunity is the community, right? I actually have written down in my little notebook, on Saturdays, we had once talked about Spotlight Saturday, where maybe you are putting the spotlight and you are shouting someone out on your team. Or maybe you are shouting, maybe it's a sideline sister out. Maybe it's someone that you have become close with throughout your journey, whether it is day 1, day 4, or I don't know, year 5. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? Another idea would be, what is on your vision board, right? That's an opportunity. The one quote that stuck out from a Sunday huddle was, and I think I used it last Saturday, something to do with sight and vision. They're two completely different things. Like, you can see something, but if you don't envision it, it really doesn't mean anything. It doesn't hold weight. It doesn't hold value, right? So what do you have in vision for yourself? What do you have in vision for your family? Where do you see yourself going? And how is this business acting as the vehicle for it, right? And then another idea when it comes to, so that's for opportunity, that's for talking about the business, sharing your goals, your dreams, and sharing that with people, and also reflecting back on, this is where I came from, right? This is how it started, but my eyes were opened up to so much more. I don't have such, I had a limited mindset before, for me personally. Maybe you did as well, right? When it comes to freedom, what is it that this brings you? You can even bring it right now. It doesn't need to have a huge rank tied to it. Rank does, I'm going to tell you something. Rank doesn't really define as anything. It just defines as your volume, like literally dollar for dollar volume. It does not define you as a person. So do not think that you cannot share about freedom, time freedom, whatever freedom looks like to you, just because I'm not this and this rank yet, or it doesn't matter, right? It does not matter whatsoever. Rank is just something that changes in your cloud office, right? Like, literally, yes, there are bonuses on the table, but just wanted to share that it doesn't need to be something that is required to share about freedom. So that could be time. Maybe you are working towards not having to work on weekends. Maybe you are looking to get rid of one of your 3 jobs or multiple jobs. That way you can spend more time with your family, or that you have more time for yourself, or that you don't have to work on Sundays. I reflect back on working on the weekends. I can sit outside on the back deck with the dogs and work on my laptop. That's freedom to me. I'm still working, but it's on my time, right? It's on my schedule. I don't need to wake up and go in somewhere, right? So want to give off those few ideas. We have about 12 minutes left. So we want to leave it open for a Q&A session. And this is where, if you have questions, sweet baby Jesus, speak now, forever hold your peace, because we don't do this every Sunday for no reason. You know what I mean? Because Britt and I talk a lot. We talk a lot. We admit to it. And this is where you have your opportunity to talk and ask your questions.
Katie.
I'm going to shut what?
It's Monday.
What did I say?
We don't do this every Sunday.
Oh, well, whatever. Whatever.
You
know what I mean? Like, you already know what I mean.
She was getting hyped. Okay,
yes. I was feeling it,
Yeah. Okay, let's do the last couple of minutes of questions or ideas, because your girl got to go live, y'all, before MMM. So, questions. Anyone? I'm high on Sculpt just in case y'all want to know. This is recorded, right?
Yeah.
Whoopsie. It's fine. Everything's fine. See y'all at Palooza, yes. So like nobody has any questions, really, guys?
We don't. I'm gonna keep talking because I got like things going through my brain.
You look kind of gangsterish over there, Katie.
I showered. Come at
Hey,
me,
let
bro.
me ask you guys. I do got a question.
Okay.
And it's mainly for your opinion because I know how I feel. How do you guys feel about posting about Thrive Palooza? And maybe you guys in the chat want to talk about that a little bit too. But for me, I kind of feel like that's something that is sacred to our world, you know, like moving outside of a promoter. I don't know that it makes sense to them specifically talking about Thrive Palooza. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I think that you should talk about it. Let me tell you why.
Tell me.
We have had, can you stop recording this right now? Can we just like,